With The Rise of Skywalker now just 56 days away, and a lot of fans very curious about exactly how J.J. Abrams is going to wrap up the entire Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy itself, a lot of fans are either very excited for this film and or are very worried about this movie and the path that J.J. Abrams will take. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Episode 9 that we do know is that this movie is going to have a lot of callbacks to the prequels and the originals in a sense where you're going to have a lot of tones from Episodes 1, 2, 3, and of course Episodes 4, 5, and 6 from the originals and the prequels to really make this, in a sense, the culmination of the Skywalker saga. Now, moving past all of this, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that Rey is said to be on a journey where she is heading toward the wreckage of the second Death Star, where she is using some strange boat-like vehicle that allows her to make her way across the ocean. It's explained that eventually Rey is able to dock to a piece of wreckage where she makes her way in and uses her skills of making impressive jumps and leaps as she did on Jakku in the wreckage of the Star Destroyers, now doing the same exact thing inside of the Death Star wreckage. It's explained that many times Rey has her lightsaber ignited during the scene in order to see and to improve her vision, where it's said that Obi-Wan Kenobi's Force Ghost voice is said to guide Rey during the sequence to find and discover Palpatine's Wayfinder device. Rey is said to listen to Kenobi's Force Ghost, guiding her from location to location within the Death Star wreckage, and even warning her about Kylo Ren's arrival at a certain point in time during the sequence. Now, Rey is said to eventually find the Wayfinder device that Kylo Ren does not want Rey to discover, as it would expose the location of the world of Exegol, which is where Palpatine and his new Sith Empire resides. Kenobi is actually said to offer Rey his help where she makes it to the top of the wreckage and fights Kylo Ren. During her battle against Kylo, it's said that Kenobi's Force Ghost voice guides her by telling her some ancient Jedi code during the sequence that allows her to fight equally against Ren after she was in a struggle against Kylo Ren, where he had the upper hand, nearly defeating her before Kenobi's help. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, the first thing that I do want to go over is, of course, one of the vehicles that Rey uses in the scene is a direct connection to what we already saw in the Rise of Skywalker trailer. So we can see how that already matches up directly. In fact, that device, or should I say that vehicle that allows Rey to travel across the ocean, was originally supposed to be a vehicle that she would use on the world of Ahch-To in The Last Jedi that is now being pushed forward into Episode 9 by JJ. Now, this particular scenario is said to involve Kenobi's Force Ghost offering Rey guidance in order to find her way throughout the wreckage of the second Death Star to find and discover the Wayfinder device that belonged to Emperor Palpatine. Now, this device, in case you guys did not know, is said to be a device that leads to the unknown regions, and is said to be the very hyperspace route that leads to Palpatine's backup throne room and his backup fleet that he has been building for decades. Now, the Wayfinder device, in case you guys did not know, there's going to be two of them in the movie. Palpatine is actually said to have Darth Vader's, and of course, Rey is going to have Emperor Palpatine. And getting into the previous leaks, this is very poetic because, you know, Kylo Ren is the grandson of Darth Vader, hence why he has Darth Vader's Wayfinder device that leads over to Palpatine's backup area, backup plans over in the unknown regions, where Rey is also said to have the Wayfinder device of now Palpatine, that she is actually said to be the granddaughter of Darth Sidious. So you can see the poetic themes here between those two characters, or should I say, between those four different characters. Now, Kenobi's Force Ghost voice is actually said to offer Rey a series of passages, if you will, of ancient Jedi code that allows Rey to focus in on Kylo Ren, and in order to gain the upper hand, or at least fight equally against Kylo Ren. And this allows her to essentially rise up against Kylo. And said, you know, there's actually said to be a moment in which Kylo Ren almost defeats Rey and has the upper hand where she is struggling. This is where Kenobi's Force Ghost comes into play here, where he offers her guidance about the ancient ways of the Jedi, which then hence allows her to gain the upper hand against Kylo Ren. So what I like about this is that, this also ties in with the Kenobi dialogue that we heard in The Force Awakens, where he says, these are your first steps. That seems like it's going to extend in this particular scenario, where Rey is going to have a lot of guidance by Kenobi, going through the wreckage of the second Death Star, and even warning her about Kylo Ren's arrival, and guiding her to get out of that location, and eventually confronting Kylo Ren in order to go up against him and gain the upper hand by listening to, the ancient passage of the ancient Jedi themselves. So that's a very interesting side by JJ, and it does allude to how he will be going over new Jedi lore in this film. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.